Wonderful, wonderful foundation for a great day. That was our overall keynote. But I want to focus us now to kick us off for our product keynote. Please help us welcome who's going to lead us through is the Corporate Vice President of Product and Design, Michael Machado. But first, let's get started with this.
Forever.
Hi, I'm having a problem.
Happy to help. Here are 2 steps you can take to resolve this now.
Awesome, thanks.
And just so you know, a permanent fix should be live in the next 24 hours.
Whoa, is there an issue with the service?
I'm getting tons of errors.
The app just keeps crashing.
Critical issue? Engineering, are you seeing this?
Yep, I'm deploying to fix now.
Got the update, thanks.
It's working now.
Well, that was quick.
Okay, team. Customers want notification preferences.
DevRev Insights confirms this.
Guys, hear me out. AI.
Let's prioritize the customer and deliver notification preferences.
Thank you. As you heard from Dheeraj, only DevRev is custom built to usher in the next era of SaaS 2.0, where humans and AI will work together. And before I get into how I'm going to partner with CIOs on how to architect that vision, and how we work with product leaders and customer leaders to deliver amazing customer insights, and how we think about how we partner with CCOs on how to bring new customer experiences into your applications directly to your customers, I want to take a moment to reflect. I want to reflect on the past 4 years, as Molly said. It's our 4-year birthday. It's pretty exciting. I love birthdays. I get really excited for my own birthday, so I'm going to celebrate DevRev's birthday like it's my own and reflect a bit on what the 400 employees that are gathered here today have built and the amazing journey we've gone with a lot of you. And it's so if we were to rewind this back from 2024 to 2022, we could start to think about our first GA product. Some of you in this room were one of our first customers to leverage the 7 lines of code. We called this plug. You plugged it into your application, and with 7 lines of code, you got to directly communicate with your customers. You got a consumer-grade experience for communicating and bringing together your product, your customer teams with your customer. But most importantly, you brought your customer into DevRev, because that's what makes DevRev special. We're not here to build another work management application. We're here to understand how all your data is related, from how your product is related to your work and how your customer consumes that product so you can actually understand the value of the work you are doing. You can prioritize better, you can make smarter decisions, and we can distribute decision-making down across teams. This 7 lines of code was the sort of the groundbreaking moment for us to deliver on that. And we didn't stop. We thought hard about the platform. We partnered with CIOs to understand what they needed from an enterprise-grade platform: the compliance, the security, and the customization. Customization is so key to the DevRev platform. You get custom attributes and fields, you get custom types, and you get custom objects to run your transactional business process, but most importantly, to continuously enrich the graph. We're always thinking about how do we tie more and more data together within that graph. And that's why we had to make it developer grade at the API layer and the webhooks, but also in our tooling that we call AirDrop, where anyone can get started in minutes with DevRev, where you can migrate millions of records in seconds, be able to connect more and more systems. Hundreds of different application systems can connect to DevRev through AirDrop, bringing structured and unstructured data together. And then we thought about what it meant to be consumer grade. Because how would your teams consume this platform comes down to how we build a consumer grade experience. And it started with our first application for support teams, where we gave support teams the power of an omni-channel inbox, the ability to think about what a conversational first experience would be like for the customers, but an enterprise-grade ticket management system that was modern. So you could drive the SLA requirements you needed to operate your business, but your consumer felt personal. And finally, we didn't stop at L1 and L2 support teams. We thought about L3 and L4. How do we give support engineering the tool that legacy providers just don't give you? How do we bring them right next to engineers? And so we brought incident management in, which brought the connective tissue within our support application and the use case where engineers now worked with support teams. And so as we launched our build app for product and engineering teams, you got product road mapping. You got incident management that would be connected all the way to the customer, and you got sprint management. But again, the customer was here because those 7 lines of code ensured of it. And so every decision you make on our build app has the customer's voice there, guiding you on your priorities, clustering insights, and making your job and your life just a little bit easier in every decision you make. And our final application that we launched last year was our Grow app. Immediately, we saw CIOs reduce the number of licenses that they needed for Salesforce. They consolidated licenses and thought, you know what, now I can actually leverage all of the Salesforce data inside of DevRev. But most importantly, we gave sales teams and customer success teams the ability to actually have a seat at the table with product and engineering teams, where they could speak one language, the language of the product, and understand and communicate how that product actually impacts their customers. But finally, we never stopped with those 7 lines of code. Over the past year, we've continuously delivered, giving CCOs the ability to proactively communicate with their customers through nudges and broadcasts in their app, on their portal, wherever their customer is. We give product teams the ability to understand customer journeys, to go through session replays and session analytics, to understand what was the best way they can experience their primary use cases. And finally, we did what no one was really able to do from a CIO perspective. We gave you custom models. So you could actually architect custom embeddings and deploy GenAI-powered experiences for your customers from the ground up. So this is just a few of the ways, and the amazing team at DevRev has essentially ushered in the past 2 years. Let's take a look at how our customers actually are experiencing it. Little sound. Thousands of customers partnering with us from the very beginning to deliver amazing customer experiences for themselves, to change the way they operate, to bring in SaaS 2.0. And so I'm so excited to talk about why we're all here today. We're gathered at Effortless, at Levi's Stadium, with great investors like Vinod and Mayfield, who have been here since day one with us, with partners like TCS, who's been our first partner to join us in this community, and customers like NVIDIA and Unifor, who have been with us and taken big bets with us from the very beginning. And also a set of prospects. And hopefully one day we'll be introducing you as customers. Because that's what Effortless is all about. How do we bring a community together? How do we learn from each other? And how do we go forward on this idea that we're going to deliver on actionable intelligence? That we're all going to be leveraging what SaaS 2.0 can bring to our organizations, not just in one department, but across an entire company. And it actually reminds me of a moment. I was actually at Levi's Stadium about 9 months ago. I wasn't here for Effortless. I was here for a 49ers game. I believe it was week 16 or 17, and our minds were fully on like a Super Bowl run, so this game meant nothing at all. We were sitting all the starters, and I was with Vish from Velocity Global. Vish from Velocity Global, how you doing, Vish? And he was sitting next to me, and we just kind of got to chatting, because the game was the good game, but again, it was time to think about Kansas City and how we were going to take on Kansas City at the Super Bowl. So Vish asked me this question, and it stuck with me to this very day. He said, what assumptions have you made as a company that you got wrong? It was a powerful question. I don't know if Vish, you remember asking that question, but it stuck with me. And to me, there's thousands of assumptions and hypotheses that you do and you make as a startup to de-risk the company, right? To de-risk the product, the market, the team. But at the same time, you're thinking about how do I move fast in these paradoxes. I move fast, but I got to bring my customers with me. I innovate, but I do so at scale. And in a lot of ways, I think Vish, being a prospect at the time, might have been, some ways trying to de-risk a decision. How does he replace an application he had used for potentially over a decade with a young startup, 3 years under their belt, with lofty, ambitious vision and goals? And today, we're going to talk a lot about how do we de-risk change. How do we de-risk your ability to adopt DevRev, to adopt SaaS 2.0, to find use cases that each one of you can identify by the time you leave here today that can impact your business and your company. And for us, that starts with AgentOS. This is our developer-grade platform for intelligence. Now, this isn't like Agentforce, where we just sort of load on bloated and bloated terms and ask for more money from you. This is really about humanizing AI. And we've humanized AI with one simple way. By taking the idea that our platform will deliver on highly accurate search, hyper-personalized workflows, and lightning-fast analytics. And today we're going to be talking about how we are announcing a new way to consume AgentOS. This is our conversational AI experience wrapped around the foundations of our platform of search, workflows, and analytics. So without further ado, I'm going to get into the first one, which is search. Because search is paramount to any AI system working well for your organization. And what we've done with search is built custom vector databases, giving you the ability to have semantic understanding of all of your data within DevRev, giving your users the ability to accurately traverse the knowledge graph and understand how everything is related. And so as we launch the conversational experience on top of AgentOS, we're launching conversational search. This is powerful. This is something we've been building with our customers over the past 9 months. And it's the idea that we're going to give a conversational experience, a GPT-like experience to all of your internal data. And for support teams, we started with how do we bring internal Confluence data, external knowledge article data? How do we bring CPO data like all the conversations in Slack, all the information that's sort of trapped in silos? How do we help CIOs connect ERP systems and CRM systems into one platform and give you enterprise-grade search upon that? And that's where we started, and we've found that we have the most accurate knowledge retrieval system out there in the market right now, because only DevRev thinks about how conversationally you can interact with your data, not just on unstructured data, but also on the structured data you have. And how we can relate the information between all this information, whether you're using DevRev or you embed us in another application. DevRev's APIs and developer-grade platform enables that for you. And every answer we give you within our enterprise search feature is source and cited, so you can trust it. So you can understand if we fetched information from the wide web, or if we've actually delivered this through your own information graph. And it's trusted. Because I know every CIO in the room is thinking, how am I going to integrate hundreds of different data sources, giving delightful user experiences to my teams, but in a trusted manner, secure and compliant? And we actually integrate across your permissions with these source information. We have a robust authorization policy within DevRev, and we're able to bring those permissions from source applications into DevRev and give you a new way for you to deploy conversational experiences across all your data. So no longer will your teams be losing countless hours every week leveraging the source information, but actually get it at their fingertips within our mobile app, within our desktop app, and as embeddable as an API. So without further ado, I'm going to pull out my mobile phone and actually show you this live in DevRev. All right. So if you don't mind, I'm going to switch over. Give them 1 second over there. They're at hard work. Got my mobile phone out, and I'm going to show you the new mobile experience in DevRev. This is a mobile experience that allows, that we're going to be launching in about 3 to 6 months, that enables everyone to get a view into what we believe we've designed from a SaaS 2.0 experience. And a SaaS 2.0 experience means that you've actually got the ability to have information served to you, that you would have an application that works for you, And so as I open up the new DevRev mobile app, you'll see I got my feed. This isn't a feed that looks backwards in time. It's a feed that looks forward. It recommends what my day should look like. Of course, it brings in my calendar and what my schedule looks like. But it's also telling me about information happening across my org that might be more important than what I have scheduled. I understand my tasks for the day that look forward to in my focus time, but everything is right here, working for me, promoting what I do next. And this bar at the bottom, this is the simplest navigation bar you'll see in any enterprise application. Home, and then right here to the right, my inbox. Now for a support team, this might be conversations with customers. But for me as a product manager, I'm constantly thinking about how do I communicate to my entire team? How do I make sure I'm widely available to them? And so we wanted to tackle the hard problems of collaboration and bringing AI right into the fold. Because we didn't want to build just another communication experience with direct messaging and group messaging, which we have, where we could communicate on the record and off the record in a seamless way. We wanted to solve the problems of communication and collaboration in the enterprise. And I'll show you that by the first message here. This is an actual message Kevin sent me. And you'll see Kevin asked me, do we have an iOS SDK for React Native? Now, I was in focus time. And so what this search agent did is it pulled with high accuracy an answer to this question, and I gave it the permission to essentially send an answer to Kevin. It describes the iOS SDK, its current availability, and it gives a link because it understands what actually that means from a part perspective in DevRev, what feature he's asking about, and shares a little bit more information about an enhancement that's coming that would further enrich his understanding of not only do we support it, but what are we doing to make it even better. Right there, in my focus time, never distracted by a DM, you can see it actually minimized my notification for me. And with a thumbs up from Kevin, it confirmed that Kevin got his answer and didn't need to distract me like we've seen in so many different collaboration experiences in the past. Now next I'm going to show you actually on-record communication in DevRev. And India has done what we've all had happen to us in the past. He CC'd me on a message. Now this could have a million comments on it, conversations going back weeks, but you'll see what the search agent did here. It wasn't able to answer the question for in India. It needed my human guidance. But it was able to do what I would naturally do, which is scroll up, start reading, not sure when the conversation started and stopped between 2 weeks ago and today, and give me a summary. Looks like in this case, the team is exploring a new beta that's going out, and I have a customer that wants to join it. Now, I have to make a judgment call. Do I want to let the customer into the beta or not? And now what I can do is actually ask a question here. Search agent, tell me more about Alpine Vogue, the customer. And now as a private message, it's going to go fetch information across the knowledge graph. It's going to understand which region they're in, all the account information available to it, and feed that information to me. Now, I know what this beta is about. It's a much more lightweight conversational B2C experience. And I see this customer is in the right region, right industry, is looking for a chat-first experience. And so, sounds good. Please approve. And just like that, I didn't have to traverse across Salesforce and other applications to get all this information into one system. I'm able to get my job done in context, extremely fast, and keep teams unblocked throughout their processes. And finally, I'm going to show you the one last amazing feature. As I go into back to the home page, I'll see there's a notification. Now, DevRev brings all of your data, and you're going to see a ton about data and insights today as we go along with this presentation. But I've been triggered on a notification here. It looks like in the past week, there's an 83% increase in the sync volume. This is coming from our airdrop feature, the feature I talked about as one of the most foundational parts of our developer-grade platform. But an 83% increase is pretty interesting. And so right here in the bottom of the navigation, I'm going to engage with our search agent. And it contextually understood where I was, that I was in the home page, understanding a data point, and it's brought that in as a suggestion. So I'm going to ask it to tell me a little bit more about the data spike in the past week. And fingers crossed, it comes back, understanding this is about one particular customer, a customer that's contributed bit more of a out-of-band records in the past week. Now, there's a couple things I can do here. I can dig deeper into the data. I can understand the impact that's going on here, but I can also understand the customer. So in this case, I'm going to explore what's going on with Atlas Corp. I'm going to tell me what's going on, not just about the account, though. I need to have more and more information available to me to make a decision. And so as I zoom down here, I'm going to look at this. It's told me about where this customer is, what phase they are in adopting DevRev, information about the opportunity, the needs, the next steps. And just right here, I can tell that it's a POC. This is exactly how we start most POCs. We meet with the customer, we understand their needs, we bring the data into DevRev, and we start to show the power of the platform, the power of search, the power of our ability to give you workflows and analytics. So just like that, I went from how I can communicate with my team, how AI works on my behalf while I'm working, while I'm focus mode, and while I'm engaging in the days and tasks I have in front of me. So this is just one experience. And it's so important that we're able to deliver this across every experience of DevRev's mobile, desktop, and across the channels that you have. And so what I'd like to do is invite up our head of engineering, Ahmed Bashir, who's going to introduce to you more ways at which DevRev's bringing conversational intelligence to your core experience of DevRev.
Conversational search, what do you think? A truly modern enterprise search experience. A new way to discover, even on the go. And these beautiful design elements you see here behind me, these are the hallmarks of conversational AI. These are the hallmarks of SaaS 2.0. They encourage discourse over ideas, discovery. They bring CIO, CPO, CCO together. And you'll find these all across DevRev. In the mobile experience, as Michael just showed you, but also on the desktop. You'll find them in the side panel, in the main views, and of course, in the navigation panel, right there, when you need help, it's there to help you. And like Michael mentioned, actionable intelligence connects back to your workflows, so you can leverage real applications that work for you and your teams in customer support, product development, project management, and of course, customer experience, which really binds the entire company together. And there's one such flow that we're really proud of. And we're going to talk about it today. And we call it conversational incident management. Here's what Paul has to say about it. Paul from Action IQ, shout out to Paul. And before I walk you through conversational incident management, I'm going to ask the CTO of Typeface, Abhay Parasnis, to join me on stage. Abhay. CEO. Oh, CEO, what did I say? Yeah, you'll need a mic. Hey, how's it going? Good to see you. All right, so we'll get you a mic? Yeah, there's the mic runner. Awesome. So Abhay, first of all, thank you for joining us. Maybe you could say a few words about the innovation happening at Typeface right now?
Sure, happy to be here. Hi, everyone. First of all, congrats to DevRev team, Dheeraj, Manoj, and everyone. I think it's great to see, as somebody who has watched DevRev journey from day one or maybe day -1, talking to Dheeraj when they were starting. It's always great to see. Building companies and business is hard, so it's great to see the progress on product, but especially customers. So great, congrats on 4-year anniversary and all the progress. Happy to be here. Typeface, we're actually a company that started slightly 1 year, almost a year later than DevRev. We focus on the other side of this equation, which is helping some of the biggest B2C and B2B companies completely reimagine their marketing and content workflows in how they personalize and deliver the entire content, from how they create content, personalize it, deliver it across various channels. And as I was listening to Dheeraj, can't help but notice a lot of the conceptual similarity and vision around bringing your content graph together. We think about content graph the way he was talking about knowledge graph, but really enabling using an AI-powered platform in how we deliver that seamlessly across web, email, social, and all the customer touch points that a typical company has.
Fantastic. And just real quick, what compelled you and Typeface to adopt DevRev and embrace change?
Yeah, I mean, I'll keep it brief, obviously, and I think Dheeraj, not surprisingly, did a great job articulating reality. Probably for a lot of folks in this room, certainly was our reality. When we started, within no time, to my surprise, and I was CTO at Adobe for many years before that, but to my surprise, we ended up with a SaaS mess of island of SaaS applications within no time. Even before we had built a business, we had like hundreds of SaaS applications. And every team justified why that was the most critical application. And one of our issues was we started with what we thought was best of breed for each one. We had Slack for internal thing, we had Jira for something, we had Salesforce, we had HubSpot, we had like so many apps. And one of the things as a team we were saying, if we are all about reimagining our customers' experience, when they talk to us, are we equipped to actually deliver that best-in-class, new, modern, AI-powered experience? When they come to our website or application, can they find any information? Do we have a knowledge management system that's modern? And I remember Manoj and Dheeraj came to our office early on, and so the short thing for us was a threefold reason we switched. By the way, we still use all those applications, so that's the unfortunate reality where you're not going to be able to get rid of all these things overnight, but it's how you bring them together. So for us, it was very simple. One, can we step up and deliver a customer experience when customers come to our website? And these are some of the biggest enterprise clients where the experience feels modern and fluid, not just relative to our product experience, but all their support interactions have to feel like that. So that was the big one. Second, how our team operates. Can the customer success, sales, and product team, can they move with the speed and velocity that we need to move? And that just wasn't happening before. And so I think for us, really, the biggest thing is how easy it was for us to integrate DevRev, starting with, you talked about the 7 lines of code. I'm sure it was a little bit more than 7 lines for us, but it was very simple to get the widget integrated. The team was very responsive. But last but not the least for me, especially in a space moving this fast, how quickly is the team going to adapt? And the partner we bet on. So for me, really, as much as it's about DevRev product of today, is what DevRev needs to become and will become tomorrow and the day after as we evolve. The partner we choose has to be on the cutting edge, and they have to continue to move fast. And so for me, betting on, obviously, Dheeraj, Manoj, and the rest of the team, I knew that we are not going to be stuck with a solution that seemed right on 2022 when we started. But when you come to 2024, it's like already legacy and date. And so I think something that's going to continue to evolve was pretty important.
Outstanding. So let's get into it. Conversational incident management. Now, obviously, workflows, by design, they work behind the scenes on our behalf. But to really sort of appreciate what it is that's happening, we're going to try to manifest that inside the system of record. And we're going to try to show you behind the scenes what's happening so we can really understand it better here. And of course, many of you know this, but DevRev offers a beautiful Trails view. And in that Trails view, you can really get in and explore the product, features, and capabilities, and also the services that power them. But you're not always in that experience. And for this specific walkthrough, what we're going to do is we're going to start with a notification. So here we've got a notification, and it looks like we've got an issue with our data sync engine, right? So this data sync engine critical alert shows up. Now let's go deeper into this and see what we expect. So it's exactly what you would expect from DevRev. It's a beautiful, immersive panel view, which gives you all the information that you need. And so what I'm going to do is we'll get back to what it shows in the panels and so on. But what I want to do first is go see what's going on with those alerts. Let's go have a look at those alerts. So folks, you got to understand what's going on over here. What's happening is that these alerts, in real time, intelligently, are being semantically clustered. And this semantic clustering is giving way to a powerful concept. It's the ability to upgrade that information and understand that there's truly an incident ongoing at this moment in time. So we have done that clustering here, and we have created this incident. But it gets better. This incident is not just an incident object with the rich information from the alerts, but we go further. Thanks to the combination of workflows and the beautiful abstractions that we have within the complete knowledge graph within DevRev, but also our advanced vector search, we're able to communicate the relationship between this incident and similar incidents in the past, but also ongoing sessions and related tickets. So this is truly a powerful 360 view of what's going on at this exact moment in time. Very, very, very important. Saves you a tremendous amount of time and really helps you de-risk the situation at hand. Abhay, anything here that seems interesting?
Absolutely. It's funny, I was literally in an incident review meeting once a week last night. One of the issues we are struggling with is just the amount of alerts you get in the system. They're all important, but how do you actually have a system help you what to focus on first, where to actually prioritize your energy? And then equally importantly, the customer success teams are not in all the details. But can you actually give enough information for them to be able to communicate while you're working? So very, absolutely relevant. I have to say, I don't think we have access to this yet. So I clearly need to get somebody, maybe once showing up here might get me access to this.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll step forward, but I'll say this, for all the engineering leaders, support leaders in the room, I'm sure your teams have set up static thresholds. What we're seeing here goes way, way, way beyond this. This is not simply about setting titles and descriptions, setting up start times and so on. This really goes down to the depths of deeply understanding exactly what's going on. This is how you save time. Now let's get back to the experience in the panel view. Now, for anybody who's dealt with an incident, I think we can all agree that the primary motive is unequivocally this, to get the customer back to a known good state. And we're going to do exactly that. You can see that we have gone straight into the discussion. We've gone in and found the immediate actions that have been taken already. We can suggest some next steps and also understand how to pull the right people in. For everybody in the room who's actually experienced incidents, you know how expensive and how disruptive it can be to get the right people in the room. This is where we lose time. Here, we're not losing any time. Because we deeply understand the system of record and the relationships between work and people, we're able to do that and draw from the information that we already have in DevRev, a very powerful incident management experience. What's more, we're able to connect back and get the relevant logs from systems like Datadog. We're also able to get the relevant commits from systems like GitHub. These are powerful systems that we integrate with from day one, and we've got many more integrations of that type. And there's more. We're also going to show you, obviously, the relationship with incidents that have happened in the past, so you can learn from playbooks and actions taken in previous occurrences. But it gets better. Obviously, you want to be able to go in and get right into the action. But you can do that not just in the DevRev app, but also in Slack if you wish. This is a live, omni-channel bridge. It lets you get into the action no matter where you are. And you can see that we're bringing a lot of semantic and deep understanding to the integration here. We've got Dennis here. Obviously, you can see Dennis deeply involved in trying to get to some resolution. And you can see that the responses that are coming back from the on-call agent, these are deeply rooted, right? These are backed by cited reference documentation, deep context from the system of record, right? And also extensible skills. This is where the power comes in. This is what brings the power of SaaS 2.0 to an experience like this. But it gets better. Because this is DevRev, obviously, we're also helping your L1 and L2. So in this particular case, we've got a customer support agent that's on their mobile, and they're getting a notification. There's a ticket. And this ticket, you can see with one click, the agent can go and deeply understand the details, but also understand that this may be, and likely is, related to the ongoing incident. This is incredible information to have in the palm of your hands. And it gets better from there, because the agent is actually suggesting a template to respond to the customer ticket and make progress right there. It can't get any simpler. For all the support leaders here, this is what your SaaS 2.0 customer support experience looks like. We are, I would say, the only company that's offering a way to truly bring your L1 and L2 together with your L3 and L4 engineering staff. Okay, let's see. Let's get back to the incident, obviously. We're going to get back to the incident. What you're going to find is the communication with the customer is going to get handled. But what's more, there's a great deal of automation that's happening here. You can see that we're going to actually take root cause analysis, post-incident action items, and we're going to bring them all right there in this discussion without having to step away. What's really valuable about this is, and from our research, we find that 78% of the damage done by incidents is really the cleanup after the incidents. It's the developer productivity. And here, I hope what you see is that we're giving your team time back to focus on the customer deliverables. So, Abhay, anything you want to add on this front?
No, I think it's pretty exciting. I mean, I think you touched on this, and maybe just to connect to what I think we all heard from Dheeraj this morning, I think for me, what's unique about DevRev even today, but certainly as you're pushing further in these capabilities, is if the world was completely greenfield, everything brand new, that would be a lot simpler. So being able to coexist with all the existing applications and existing processes, number one, but then being able to surface this information, I think to me, the human plus agent thing that I think Dheeraj was talking about is very much a reality for us, which is even as these AI models get powerful, they get sophisticated, you still need that capability to surface the right information to the right user at the right touch point. And so I think, like, by the way, the Slack piece, at least from, as I know, our team, like the engineering team actually loves the DevRev backend portions of it, but the customer success team still absolutely loves the fact that the same thing flows through because they already have Slack channels with the customers and they already have everything set up there. So I think that human plus AI agent workflow is definitely the right unlock. And I think it's exciting. It's exciting to see where you guys are pushing this.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited that you're excited. So that's conversational incident management, real-time triage, expert coordination for fast, targeted resolution, and of course, enriched actions to close the loop, cutting down the risk and the possibilities and the cost of recurrence. Thank you, Abhay.
Thanks, Ahmed. Great. Have a great day, everyone.
Outstanding. So let's shift gears, shall we? I want to talk about how we help you answer your most important questions. Today, we're going to announce the most comprehensive conversational experience for CX leaders. Here's what our customers have to say. Vinod from Unifor. And for this portion, what I'd like to do is introduce another friend. And we're going to have NVIDIA's VP of AI Nations join me here. Please welcome Shilpa Kolhatkar. Shilpa, thanks for joining us.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your role at NVIDIA.
Certainly. I am with NVIDIA's global public sector team, and within that, I drive an initiative called AI Nations. So some people asked me earlier when I was speaking to them, what is AI Nations? We've all heard of smart cities, and then that became smart. That is what a smart nations has evolved into, but we're not stopping there. It is now taking it to the next level, AI Nations. And so it's a lot about working closely with governments, but also with the industry and academia to help advance the national strategies around the globe.
Fantastic. And obviously we've got Nate here in the crowd as well. So can you tell us a little bit about what drove NVIDIA to choose DevRev?
Yeah, look, ultimately, and I've been listening to the fabulous presentations here and the product presentations as well. Ultimately, in the context of innovation and of productivity, these tools are the ones which are bringing about that productivity gains, etc. And when you look at the goals that all nations are trying to achieve, it is about tying it to outcomes of economic growth, about global competitiveness, right? So that is also applicable to industries as well. Any industries looking to increase that productivity, efficiency. And hence for us, we've really focused on democratization of AI for our ecosystem. so that our ecosystem can adopt the tools faster, more in an easier way. And tools such as these are actually what's going to be that game changer in order to bring about that ease of use, to bring about that faster time to value. So really excited about starting on this journey with you.
Sounds good. Game changer. I like it. Okay, let's have a look. So once again, what we're going to do is we're going to start with a notification. Now, I want to be clear here. We're talking about notifications, but these are proactive insights. So these are not just your usual notifications. So I want to make sure we appreciate that. And again, you can see that in this notification, just a simple tap on Review Customer Health, and I'm straight in to the dashboard experience. And we're going to talk a little bit about this dashboard in a bit. But first, what I want to do is I want to focus on this bottom left here. Look at this bottom left panel. This is the lifeblood of conversational insights. Without any action, you can see, without any prompt, I am getting key insights. It's a carousel of key insights. This is what makes conversational CX so remarkable. It's that important staff member that's deeply familiar with your tool sets and your domain, entirely prepared with the right set of information. Now, in a more conventional scenario, I might actually go and get drawn into the dashboard, which, by the way, is very powerful on its own right and has all the right click-through detail for me to get the job done and navigate on my own. But here in this particular case, I see that Maple is at risk, so I'm going to go in and get back to the conversation. But just to take a moment so we understand really what's being shown here, because it's quite important. So you see satisfaction and you see SLA responsiveness. This is drawing from our tickets and our customer conversations details from the system of record. That makes a lot of sense, but there's more. You see sentiment, which is actually building off of large language models and instrumenting measurable data that we're unlocking here. That's really exciting. But it goes further. You see integrations thanks to our airdrop technology, which are taking important metrics, bringing them into our product, and straight onto the dashboard. And there's even more. You see product usage here. That's using our DevRev native event tracking. Normally, as I'm sure many of you know, this actually requires very expensive third-party integrations to get right. And even then, you can't get it right. So there's a lot being shown on this dashboard to truly appreciate. But let's get back to what's going on with Maple, our customer. So I'm going to go over here and see what's going on. And let's find out what's happening. First things first, you can see that this conversation expands, literally. And the navigation panel pulls back to make space for this discussion. Let's see what's happening. Well, obviously the health's dropped, right? But it's because of declining product usage. And it looks like we've missed a few SLAs. If I want, I've got a one-click experience here to go and see the impacted tickets. But I'm actually going to go further. I want to get a little more information. For all the leaders in this room, you're probably saying, let's get the 5 whys. Let's get down to the details. Well, we've got the details right here. If I want a resource, a name to go reach out to, I've got Alex Harris. And there's one more golden nugget here. It doesn't look like Maple's using Agent Copilot, which is a very attractive feature that we've recently launched. I need to go figure out what's going on there. And I'm actually going to branch off from here. I'm actually going to branch off and ask one more question. I want to know, and this is what curiosity leads to, I want to know where and which other customers have had this pattern of behavior. And there's my answer. I've got my answer right there. Folks, in my books, this is a real conversation, right? What do you think so far?
Well, converting data into intelligence, that's what's happening here. And great to see this live in action. So in fact, this looks a lot like an AI factory, isn't it? So this platform is going to ingest a lot of data. And as per the initial presentations where I talked about automating the workflows, and tying the search and analytics and workflows together, it's really about manufacturing intelligence. I'm super excited about this. It really ties in well to our concept of the new generation of factories is the AI factories, where the raw material is data, and what comes out is tokens or intelligence.
I love it. Outstanding. So, and by the way, this is powerful, but what I'll say is what truly makes it powerful is that it's backed by the same powerful data set that our dashboards are powered by. And I'll say one more thing. Thanks to our access controls and our multi-factor authorization, thanks to our local in-process SQL database technology, we can take this capability and give it to all the people in your team. And that really allows for CX to be a real priority. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's good. So there you have it. That's conversational CX. Generate reports instantaneously. Discuss what matters most, the customer. And 100% data coverage. 100% data coverage means integrating with the most important tools and your team. CIOs, CPOs, CCOs, this is how your teams come together. Now, we've got a pretty diverse group here, right? Leaders from support, product, engineering, founders. Am I right? What I hope you've seen so far in this session is what humanized AI looks like, what it can do, what it feels like. We have concentrated on sort of capturing in this session these moments of delight, these moments where the product strikes up a conversation, facilitates action, cuts through ambiguity, and only DevRev can combine this sophisticated reasoning with the most complete knowledge graph and your most critical integrations and brings them to all your conversational surfaces. We think this, collectively, these moments of delight will serve as the foundation for how you and your teams experience SaaS 2.0 and embrace change. Now, I'd like to introduce Michael back on stage to sum up today's announcements. Thank you. All right. There you go.
Thank you. Can I hang out? This is amazing. Design and AI have to come together. As we look forward to the future, I don't think we can think about how AI can be separated from design. This is why you can't bolt on to legacy providers and expect anything to be different. We've seen from micro moments within a mobile experience how you can change the way you get work done, how you can collaborate across teams in the most efficient way possible, and how you can hopefully do more, but at the same time do less but better. We saw how workflows are going to be transformed, how incident management, one of the ways that developers lose the highest productivity, your highest cost as an organization to incidents is developer productivity, and we're solving that problem for you today. And then finally, how analytics. How do we all share in the customer insights required to deliver unique insights across our organization? These micro moments of design are how we make that happen and how we'll continue to deliver on that in the SaaS 2.0 era. So embeddable search, don't forget this is something you can take with you to your organizations. We deliver it as an API across any channel. We deliver it as an SDK so you can embed it in core experiences. And for every DevRev user, it comes out of the box in our mobile and desktop experience this year. Every workflow between your support and your engineering teams are going to be transformed in this 2.0 era. We showed you conversational incident management, but you can apply that same logic and the same custom agent experiences this year. Just automate and transform every workflow within your organization. And finally, we're bringing you the power of conversational customer experiences and conversational analytics. All this comes together this year as a huge announcement as we take an Agent OS and truly made it conversational. So I hope everyone is going to have an amazing conference. We're just getting started. You're in the first hour, and I can't thank you all for attending this, hearing us out from the DevRev product organization. But don't forget, you've got industry leaders that are going to be talking about how they de-risk change within their organizations. You've got customers who are going to be sharing their stories about DevRev. You've got partners who are going to be talking about how they can guide you in de-risking change. And so we're all here to welcome in sort of the SaaS 2.0 era. And I just want to thank everyone for your time and commitment to listening to us. I'm excited to work with you going forward.